Hello, 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 everyone. I hope you're doing awesome. Give me a hi in the chat. Let's see if we are live, if my mic is working fine. I'm able to see your chats on the left hand side, by the way. So, yeah, that's also happening. Hello, hello, hello. The energy in the chat is awesome. Perfect. By the way, if you're not yet if you're not able to see and chat, it's only subscriber only mode. So just subscribe to Let's Upgrade channel, and then you can actually, chat with others. We want this session to be very interactive, so make sure you're able to chat. Nice. I saw some question in the chat. I'm not sure if it's gone like way back, but yeah, if you have any other, I'll actually cover everything, so you don't need to worry about. Just doing mic testing before we get started. Nice. Okay, let me quickly share my screen and let's get started. But before we do that, I want to know where you folks are joining us from. So mention your city name, mention your state, mention your country, wherever you folks are joining from. Let's see in the chat. By the way, I'm personally joining from Mumbai, so yeah, that's Gwalior, uh, Delhi, Lucknow, Nagpur, nice, nice, nice. NIT Warangal, Sri Lanka, perfect. Pune. I'm coming to Pune, by the way. Yeah, probably end of this month. We'll have some workshops there. Perfect. I see people all across India, outside India. Amazing. Tamil Nadu, nice. Hyderabad, oh, Mirzapur. Are you really from Mirzapur or are you trolling me? Okay. I see so many people joining from so many different places. We are just getting started, just like 4 minutes of the stream. But let me quickly go ahead and start my presentation. Perfect. Let me go ahead and quickly share my screen. I'm still seeing the chat, by the way. Amazing, amazing. By the way, keep this chat very active because I am going to, kind of talk to you and, like interact with you and everything. Uttarakhand, nice. How do we get certificate? Let's start with the session first. I definitely want to give you certificates. So we are going to definitely hand out certificates if you stay till the very end. So you have to complete the workshop with us, and then you will get a chance to earn the certificate. Okay. So if you don't do hands-on, you're not attentive during the session, you will not get a certificate, right? We also have some swag giveaways if you have also seen that. So we'll be giving away some swags as well. So yeah, if you are interested in earning some swags, I'm gonna talk about that as well. So before I start, let me go ahead and share with you the document. Did you actually see the pinned document yet? The Notion page, which is visible to all of you? Yes, yes. I hope you have already seen it. If not, it is pinned in the chat right now. So you can actually go ahead and check it out. I've also kind of messaged it in the chat. Uh, Go to that document real quickly. I'll open it right here as well. And in this document, everything is mentioned from the, way to claim the certificate to kind of going ahead and participating in our social media challenge. Remember, we are going to do complete hands-on, and that exercise is really important to earn your certificate. So make sure you're downloading pieces. We have the link for Windows, we have for Mac OS. If you have, something else, you can go to the documentation and download it. So yeah, keep it on downloading so that you don't have to waste time when I am coming and kind of enabling you to kind of download this, right? Step number two is doing the workshop, which we are doing right now. So we are going to get started once I cover the prerequisites, and then we are going to be all good. Who doesn't love certificates? Everyone does. So we are going to award a digital badge like this and a physical certificate, obviously not printed, but digital, which you can, attach on your LinkedIn, share it with people, and so on and so forth. But that is going to happen after the hands-on, and I'm going to cover that. So don't worry about it. Now, remember, to download the certificate, you need to fill out this form, which you can't fill right now, but you'll be able to fill at the end of the session. If you love talking to me, if you love my teaching, feel free to connect with me at different platforms, whatever you are comfortable with. And then the very end, social media giveaway. Actually, the date is wrong. We will update it. It will end on 22nd January, not December. Yeah. So what we are going to give away is some T-shirts. Like talk to me. Talk AI to me kind of T-shirt. I find it very quirky, a little bit. Like yeah, quirky. I would put it that way. If you want to win that, you need to participate in a giveaway. What you need to do is you need to share whatever you are learning in this workshop, tag pieces and tag LetsUpgrade. And then the best submissions will get, awesome swags. Nice. So if anyone who is late, remember this is the all-in-one doc which you can kind of browse and work with. You can do hands-on later on, but I highly recommend you do it right now because then will be you will be able to solve your doubts and whatnot. So yeah, welcome to Generative AI 101 with Pieces. My name is Ali Mustafa. I am a senior developer advocate at Pieces, and my whole job is to educate people about generative AI. Go to different events, workshops, write amazing documentation and whatnot. I have delivered more than 300 workshops in person, in different cities. Played a very major role, in working with different, Google communities like Google Crowdsource, GTGs, and whatnot. I also have a TEDx talk, by the way, which I delivered like, I guess 4 or 5 years back. So if you ever have a fun time, just, Google my name, Ali Mustafa, and add a TEDx in front of it, and you will find my TEDx talk. It's actually about machine learning and data collection. So that is going to be fun. This is me, talking at different places. I really love people meeting in person. I have actually met so many people when I used to deliver the Postman workshop, in person at different conferences in Mumbai, around the world. And they come to me and be like, "Hey, I attended your LetsUpgrade session." I'm like, "Nice, absolutely." We click some photos and whatnot. So yeah, feel free to say hi to me if you find me in person. Now, if you need a lot more support, we will have a Discord server right here. So remember, you can join the Discord server and ask for support if you need that, right? We are very active on Discord. We have a very huge community. So yeah, all the support is given there. There are no prerequisites for this workshop. You can literally come in with a laptop and we can start from scratch and we will end the whole workshop, right? So yeah, remember, you will need to do the whole workshop for the certificate. Without that, you will not get the certificate, unfortunately, because we want to tie up some skills, right? You can't just sit for a workshop and get the certificate. It's worthless in that nature, right? So yeah, we need to do hands-on, and you and me are going to do that. So stay till the very end. Okay, nice. Now, what do you get for the social media swag? As I mentioned before, make sure you're participating in the social media swag right now as it is happening. What you need to do is you need to summarize whatever we are learning. You don't need to promote anything. You just need to summarize whatever you're learning. You're learning about GenAI, summarize that. And then fill out the form and we will, reach out to you if you are a winner. Nice. Now, what is artificial intelligence? What is AI? If I ask you that question, what would be your go-to answer? Yes, you'll have to install both, but actually Pieces OS will by default get installed, so don't need to worry about it. It will actually get installed once you do the installation. Nice. What is AI? Can someone tell me? I'm looking at the chat. Chat seems inactive right now. Let's make the chat active again. Yes, yes, yes. AI. In very simple terms, machines being intelligent, right? You are telling the machine to do something. For example, self-driving car, which means it is intelligent enough to drive a car on a road, right? That's AI. But if I want to explain AI in very simple terms, I will say that, let's say if you are born into this world, did you know your name? I did not. My parents gave me a name, and that's what my name is. Did I know English? Absolutely not. Did I know Hindi? No. I live in Maharashtra, so I know Marathi very well. But did I know that when I was born? Absolutely not. So what happened was, wherever I was born, I adapted all the things which that place had to offer, right? So in Maharashtra, I learned Marathi. If I was born in, let's say, Germany, then my language would be German. If I was born in UK, then my first language would be English, right? And so on and so forth. So if you look at humans, we are literally intelligent beings. We are not artificial intelligence. We are actually intelligent, right? And what we are trying to make machines do is make them intelligent. That's our whole goal. So yeah, that's AI. But lately, I've been hearing a new term called as generative AI. Now, what is the difference between AI and generative AI? Let's go and find out. I asked Gemini 1.5 Pro because why not? I don't want to do all that hard work of writing what is generative AI. And it says generative AI is a field within artificial intelligence which can help me generate new context, new content, just as like images, audio, code, whatever I need in form of content. I asked GPT as well, and GPT also said the same. It said, unlike traditional AI, which recognizes pattern, generative AI generates completely new data from the patterns it has learned. And the key difference in Gen AI is that it doesn't need, it doesn't need to have like a structured data set. You can give it a pile of data, you can give enough compute power, and then it will just do its thing. Now, a lot of you use GPT, a lot of you have been working with it, but you don't really know the essence, in deep what it really is. And that's what we are going to learn today in Gen AI 101. We are going to learn the crux of AI, not just like, go ahead and be like, oh, I know Gen AI because I've been using ChatGPT. Not like that. Okay. So the first thing we need to learn is what is common between all of this. First, generating new content. What kind of content, you may ask? What kind of content can I generate with Gen AI? Yes, yes, yes. Anyone? Maybe music, maybe like script for a movie, or I can generate a book. I can literally HD image. Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Okay, code. Yeah, developers. We are developers. We need code. Yes, absolutely. Again, some AI says original outcomes. So they say, okay, we don't just recognize pattern in the heap of this data which we are sharing with you, but we also recognize original patterns. And then again, if you take it a little bit more further, we kind of dive into different kinds which are available today. You can generate video as well, right? If you ever tried Sora, you can actually go ahead and generate video as well. So how cool and awesome that is in today's world. Now, if you understand the behind the scenes of how Gen AI works, I'll take you back to 2017 when the first model was introduced. The first algorithm which we kind of still use today was introduced by Vasani et al., which was called as transformers. And this was the basis of all the generative AI you see today. Okay. Now, not just that, but in 2018, Google launched Birth. Now, Birth was a game changer because in Transformer, it was very like simple sequence to sequence self attention mechanism. But with Birth, it was bidirectional. So it was not just able to look at the previous data, but it was able to kind of look forward as well. And that changed everything. Usually, whenever there is a research about something, it takes more than 5 to 10 years to implement that, right? Because if you ask me for an example, I used to teach neural networks a lot in 2020. Neural networks did not get invented in 2018, so I was teaching in 2020, but they were invented back in 90s, and so on and so forth. But the implementation, the research, and all of that takes a lot more time. But in terms of this model, it was very, very different. GPT was able to kind of implement this algorithm and add their own, and they were able to collect tons of data and generate a model which was available to public called as Chat GPT. Now I know transformers, birth, bidirectional, blah blah blah, self-attention mechanism. All of this sounds, fancy words. If you ask me, this is my favorite movie. Hera Fairy, and the dialogue here basically means, don't complicate things. Explain it to me simply. If you are speaking Hindi, this would be like very funny. But if you want me to simplify this to like a very very code level, I would actually give you a better example. So let's play a game. I'm going to give you few words. It might be a dialogue from a movie, it might be a most famous phrase on the planet Earth, it might be anything. What you have to do is you have to find the next half of it. So I'll give you half a phrase, you have to find the next half. Is everyone good? Give me a thumbs up in the chat, come on folks. Is everyone good? Good, good. Do you understand the game logic? Yes. If yes, give me a thumbs up in the chat real quickly. Let's see a lot of thumbs ups. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see the chat rolling. But by the way, chat is on the left hand side, so I keep looking at the left. Let's go. Okay. But I see very few thumbs up for 200 people. I see the likes are only 24, folks. Come on, let's like this stream. Let's make it propagate to more people. Yeah. And do subscribe to Let's Upgrade, because they had built this awesome channel earlier as well. But due to some problem, it got, gone. But now you folks are here, which is amazing. So go ahead and subscribe to them as well. You might have seen me so many times on Let's Upgrade to kind of, deliver so many different workshops. Nice. Let's play this game. First one. How's the Josh? This should be fairly easy. Yes, you might have heard about this a lot of times. Battle Girl says, hi, sir. What about others? Tanishk also says that. Okay, what about others? Come on, be quick. Let the chat flow. Hi, sir. Okay, nice, nice, nice. Anyone who does not know, you can say, I don't know. Or just give me a thumbs down emoji, right? If you don't know. Okay? Yes, yes. Makes sense? Okay, cool. Second one, may the force. Okay, so Yash doesn't know the first one. That's fine. The second one, may the force. Complete it quick. Tanish said be with you. Okay, but a question mark, so he doesn't really know. Okay, now there are more people who doesn't know. Okay, be with you. Some people say be with you. Some people say don't know. Not be with you. No, not really. I don't know the second one. Ah, okay. A lot of people are failing the second one. Okay, this is funny, right? Nice. Okay, the next one, Houston. We have a. Let's see the third one. This should be a little bit tricky. Okay, it's from Star Wars. Yes, Dhananjay. Not everyone is a not everyone is a geek. So yeah, Houston. We have a what? We have a house. Not no Satish. Niyati says problem. Okay, nice. We have a problem. We have a situation. Okay, nice. We have a big problem. Okay. I don't know, solution, situation. Yeah, don't worry, brother. It's not your relationship. No situationship here. uh, we have nothing. Okay, a lot of people don't know this one as well. Cool. Last one. Let's do last one. I solemnly swear that I am up to. This should be probably everyone should know this because it's something all of us watched growing up. Maybe yes, up to. No good, says Gorang. Nice. Okay. What about others? Up to the mark. Not really. B limit up to no. What is B limit, bro? Moon. Okay. No good, no good. Let's see, let's see. Drunk. Up to no good. Okay. Now, if you start from the first one, how everyone who answered, how did you know? Hi, sir. Like it could be how is your Josh? I could say low, sir. Like why high? In the second example, yeah, Alu chat. Yeah, a crazy amount of people we have here. um, Harry Potter. Yes. So you know the last one from Harry Potter, the first one from Ori. Okay. Learn from media. Okay, nice. From memory. Nice. Okay. What about others? What about Houston one? Phrase like that. Exactly. Phrase like that. So you know that, you as an intelligent human being, what you are essentially doing is trying to predict how the sentence ends. Right or wrong? Right. Now, if you go back a little bit, you go into your brain and you're like, hey, did I watch this reel? Which says, how's the Josh? And everyone says, hi, sir. They're like, okay, we watched this reel. So we were able to see this. Now I move, I've not personally watched Star Wars, but I have friends who have watched it. So I know May the Force Be With You belongs to that franchise. Um, I'm a space enthusiast. So I've seen Houston. We have a problem as a very famous phrase, in the Apollo mission. So I remember that, and so on and so forth, right? So remember, all of this, what we are essentially doing is we are acting as a Gen AI or generative AI. So essentially, the whole model does what it does is it predicts the next word in the sequence, nothing else. Like you are an intelligent being. Okay. So unlike you, it doesn't go back and be intelligent. But what it does is it predicts the next word on the basis of all the context it has already within itself and all the learnings it has done from the training data set. So yeah, that's generative AI. I hope the behind the scenes of Gen AI is much understood. Yes, yes. Easy. Easy. Yeah. Now you'll be like, okay, why should I learn behind the scenes? Why can't I just use GPT all the time and be happy with it? Not really. Why? Because there is, big innovation happening. There's $10 billion funding for Microsoft. XAI recently got $6 billion in funding. If you are not going to adapt this, you don't understand what is happening behind the scenes, you will be left out. You'll not have jobs. If you have jobs, it will be gone. So remember, learning Gen AI is very, very important. And it is important because you need to be with everyone else on this chapter. Else you will be, being left out. So companies like Pieces, companies like GitHub are trying to solve these problems and trying to kind of, involve you into this phase of understanding Gen AI and then doing something with it. Remember, with you know a model of this size with this kind of capability, obviously ethics and responsibility is also very important, because today what happens, you will kind of go ahead, copy the whole production code of your system, paste it in GPT. No, you can't do that. Okay. So yeah, a lot of that kind of stems from Gen AI. That okay, when we are kind of coming back and looking at Gen AI behind the scenes, uh, remember, if you don't upgrade yourself, you will be definitely left behind. And that's why we are learning about these algorithms and all of that. Now, if you look at the basics of Gen AI, the first things you'll hear everyone talking about is LLM. What is LLM? LLM is a large language model. I call it a big brain AI, right? So what it does, it basically generates text like humans. It's super smart. It can, from technical questions, it can answer deep, it can have deep chats about a particular topic, let's say around space, around code, around whatever you want to chat about, right? So yeah, remember this. This is like super like important to remember. LLM, large language models. Now you'll also see SLMs, small large language models. You will see, like medium large language models, and so on and so forth. So there are a lot of terminologies used here, but remember this is something which you need to remember. Remember, LLMs are they because they are trained on so much data. It's not as if they can only do one thing. They can literally do everything like a Swiss Army knife. Okay. So to give you an example, you can go to Amazon's chatbot. So if you use Amazon in India, you will have Amazon app. Go there and talk to Rafas and tell it to generate a LinkedIn post. Now, essentially, it should not be able to do that. Why? Because it's a chatbot which will help you to do shopping. But then it can generate, like a post for your LinkedIn. It can give you even odd programs. It can help you literally do everything. And the reason for that is because, LLMs itself, they are trained on vast amount of data. And then you narrow down their scope using, different prompts and different context windows. So yeah, remember LLMs usually they can do anything and everything. With high risk, with high reward comes high risk. And here also we are basically, like telling LLMs or giving LLMs all the data available in this world. So they are tend to be biased around the data which you give them. So it definitely, like depends on the kind of data you're providing, the kind of algorithm you're using, the kind of optimizations you're doing, and so on and so forth. So it's risky, absolutely. Tennessee is with great power comes great responsibility. Oh well, yes, it does because you can literally ask LLM anything, and it will help you to do that, right? So earlier, if you wanted to do something bad, Google will not give you index all of these websites. You'll be like, oh, I need to go to dark web. In today's world, you can jailbreak an LLM. You can ask about things which you should not know. Yes, crazy. In simple, you can see the downside. Because the LLMs understand pattern, they will see the patterns regardless. They don't have any real understanding. They are not really intelligent. They just predict. And what they predict, the next word in the sequence, nothing else. So essentially what they are doing is they are just predicting the next word in the sequence. They don't have any real understanding from what they are doing. Like for example, when I said how's the Josh, you said hi sir, not because you are a robot and you are configured to do that, but because you understand where that statement comes from. Why did you say hi sir and what it means? But in terms of LLMs, it will say hi sir, but it will not understand why it is saying hi sir. Okay, so yeah, remember that. Now, introducing pieces. What is pieces for developers? Now, if you go to pieces for pieces.app, you will see that we are a long-term memory for your whole developer work stream. So our whole goal is to kind of go ahead and help you maintain context. Okay. And not just context, which is like old, but live context. Okay. So you can basically go ahead and, look at a website, try to understand something from that and literally control that live context. You can install pieces for Windows, Mac OS, or Linux. It's absolutely free, and it supports multi LLM. So it's not just it doesn't just support, let's say, one particular LLM, but it can it starts with GPT-4o to Claude. If you don't like to use online LLMs and don't want to expose your data, we take pride in saying that we support almost a lot of local LLMs, which means you can download pieces, you can go ahead and literally use a local LLM and keep every data on your device and don't let anything go away from your system, right? So yeah, that's what pieces is all about. Now, if you come here in use cases, you can see a lot more. You can go to the doc. You can see we are available literally everywhere. So you can go to these places. You can download and you can basically get started. Now, if you look at the document which I shared earlier, I mentioned that you can download for Windows, for Mac OS, and do the installation, right? So yeah, you need to install pieces to be able to kind of work with it. And today we are going to kind of use pieces to work around a very simple project. And then you can obviously try out other features from pieces like long-term memory, which I'll demonstrate a little bit later. But yeah, go ahead and install it. If you're facing installation errors, please fill out this form so that we can go ahead and sort out these errors if you're facing any errors during the installation. Okay, so make sure you can see the pinned link of the documentation which is available. If you're facing any error in installation, go ahead and fill out this form, and we will be able to help you out. Nice. So I hope you understand what is pieces in a very simple term. Now we will definitely, I would request all of you to kind of go ahead and install it by the time, so that when we are ready for hands-on, we are all able to like do it together. Okay. So we have 1 more hour. We will actually finish this workshop in next 40 minutes or less than that. Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and do the installation and do hands-on. Perfect. Yeah, it will take some time for installation because it's literally framed as an operating system. Uh, so yeah, it will take some time. Now when I talk about LLMs, obviously LLMs are useless without the ability to use them in your own workflow. Okay. So if you are downloading, let's say you're working on Chrome, you want to save something, you should be able to access LLM on Chrome. If you are doing coding in VS Code, you should be able to access it there. If you're doing it on JetBrains, you should be able to access it there, right? So bringing LLMs to where you want is very important, and that's what Copilot enables you to do. So what's a Copilot? Very simple. It's an AI-powered assistant which can have a lot more. It can have one models, multiple models, and so on and so forth, right? So it's again AI-powered, multi LLM supported. If you're using, let's say, something like Pieces, you will have access to online models, local models, and so on and so forth. Nice. Then comes, some Copilots are also context aware, which means it doesn't just reply back to what you're asking, but it takes into consideration what you were doing earlier. So if you're visiting a website, something like Pieces can look at what you're looking at. It can gather the context and provide it as well, right? It is also collaborative. So you're not just working alone, but you want, to work with a team. So yeah. And then you can see, obviously it's a problem solver. So you can, not just use it to generate code, but also to generate documentation, test cases, and whatnot. Sai is asking, what is the default LLM to set? You can set GPT-4o. That's my go-to model. But if you're going to do coding, so I'll recommend you set Claude Sonnet model 3.5. And remember, in Pieces, you can access premium models for absolutely free. So you don't have any limitation. But you'll have to sign in because we have encountered some spam. So earlier we were allowing people to use unlimited without sign in, but a lot of people we face some cyber attacks, and that's why we have now added like rate limiting. If you don't want to get rate limited, make sure you're signing up as well. Nice. So it's time to go hands-on. Let's go hands-on. I hope you all have downloaded Pieces. Let me go ahead and share the whole screen with you, right? So that it is better that way. Let me come back to my channel, present, shared screen, and share the entire screen on the second one. Nice. Okay. So I hope now you are able to see my entire screen. Hopefully. Let me show here. And when you open Pieces, you will actually, let me bring Pieces right here, and let me full screen it. And if you look at Pieces right here, you can see there are so many things. But what I'll do is I'll kind of go ahead and launch the onboarding so that I can show you all together like how it is looking like, right? So once you install, you will see something like this. Welcome to Pieces for Developers. You can click on Get Started, and you can select what kind of user you are. Let's say if you are working around software, you can select software engineering. You can select the kind of experience you are, 1 year, 1 to 2 year. I go into 5 to 10 brackets. So that's I primarily work on all the technologies which you are working on. So select them, DB, data science, ML, full stack, select all these projects. And then all the languages which you are coding in, right? So you can select all the languages as well. Now I want to boost my productivity. So here you can select AI Copilot because that's what we are going to use. Then comes ML processing, and do you want to do it offline? Now, Pieces takes pride in saying that we can do completely offline, right? So you don't have to, if your system is powerful, you can literally do everything offline. But your system is not that powerful, then I'll highly recommend you that you select blended or cloud. So we run small large language models on your system, which can help us to work with your workflow. So remember that in that case, you can, if your system is powerful, then select local. But if not, select cloud. I usually prefer cloud, so I'll select cloud. Now, you can select other options, as you like. I usually, like to save code, so I'm selecting that. And default LLM. So you can select whatever LLM you are more familiar with. I'm going to select Claude 3 Sonnet because that's my favorite model when I'm doing coding. You can also select GPT-4o, which is the premium model with no limits available to you. So yeah, as I mentioned, Pieces is absolutely free, and it does allow you to use premium models for absolutely free. So that's good. And we have this something called as long-term memory. So what does long-term memory do? Long-term memory allows you to look at things on your system and allows you to store that context. Right now, don't activate it. I have it activated. I keep it activated, but I'll highly recommend to not activate it right now. We will do the practicals after that. I'll show you a demo. If you like it, then only you activate it. Okay, cool. I will highly recommend you to create an account because that is very important. It is optional. We don't force you. You can use Pieces without creating an account. But the whole idea is to not rate limit you. So if you don't want to get rate limited, please create an account and sign in and click on finish onboarding. Nice. Yes, you can customize again if you are not able to customize, right? So yeah, you can customize it again. Cool. Now you can click on the model on the left hand side. If you are able to see it here on the left hand side, you will see the model selection bar, and you can select any model which you like. Here in our case, you can change that as well. I mentioned Pieces is completely on device, which means you can click on device and you can download a local model which you like. For example, if you're not, if your system is not that powerful, you can use Phi 3 Mini, which is like the small large language model, doesn't take a lot of toll on your system. Or else, if you are good with it, if you really want to kind of try out something amazing, you can try a Llama 3 8 billion. Now, this is a big model, and it will help you to kind of literally work completely off device without internet. You can kind of go ahead and shut off your internet and start working, and it will work like a charm. But again, local models are experimental, which means if your system is not powerful enough, yeah, it's going to fail miserably. So don't download on-device models unless and until you have a powerful system. Make sense? Nice. Okay. So yeah, I hope everyone is done. If yes, give me a thumbs up in the chat, and then we'll start with the practical. Yes, yes, yes. If not done, by the way, I'm going to explain the project as well. Done? How many of you are done? Give me a thumbs up. If not, I'll wait for you. Okay. I'll drink some water. Please wait. Yes, I'm waiting. That's why I told you install early so that you can be with me. So as I'm waiting, should I show you the demo of long-term memory? Yes, I'll show you the demo. You don't have to do this. I'll show you the demo, right? So as you are installing, for all the people who are installing, I'll show you the demo. Yes, yes. Give me a purple heart if yes. You can click on the skip option. That is also fine. You don't need to do all the setup. Yeah, Vamsi, that's fine. I read you the first time. You don't need to say that 5 times. Okay, so let me show you an amazing demo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the long-term memory. So I go to Pieces, right, and I'll activate, long-term memory. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back here and I'm going to go to Spotify, API. I really love Spotify and I want to, let's say, fetch some songs. So I'm going to go to Spotify API. I'm looking at the API, looks awesome. Okay. I can go to, let's say, how to's and I want to get album. So let's go to get album. Oh, nice. Okay. I can see the response code. I can see the call command, which is good. The response looks good. Okay. I can come down here. I can see different response types. Okay, perfect. Now, in an ideal world, I want to implement this in my own system, right? So I'll have to basically, do a lot of back and forth. Now in pieces, I can go here. I can enable long-term memory. So I can start a new chat. I can enable long-term memory and I can go ahead and ask it something. So for example, in this case, I'm going to ask it, can you tell me the get album code I was looking at in Chrome? So you can see I'm generally asking it to fetch me something, right? And let's see if it is able to do that. And it says that, okay, certainly you're looking at this Spotify API web documentation. And here is, the get API request. And this is the sample response. Nice. So you see that in this case, I literally, kind of just looked at the website. I came back here and I asked it something and it was working. Okay, let me try something else. So as you can see, you all were, with me while I was taking the workshop. So let's ask about YouTube. I was watching something on YouTube today. Can you tell me more about about it? Let's see if it is able to figure that out, right? So I, it's probably a hit or miss. It might work, it might not work, and it works. So it says Gen AI Essentials. I was looking at this video seems to be related to generative AI. Okay, what was being discussed in the chat? And you can see not just this, I can retrieve information which is saved like a week back. I can retrieve information which was saved a little bit earlier as well. And here you can see it, participants were asking questions, sharing insights. If you have any specific question about the chat, it can also answer that. Okay, let me ask, what about the swag challenge? I gave you the swag challenge, right? Let's see if it is able to figure that out. Yeah, so diagnostic information is where we are able to fetch a lot of this information, right? But yeah, remember, in pieces, we value privacy a lot. We are not, sending any of your data outside your system unless and until you choose to, kind of use an online LLM, right? All of this capability which I showed you, like here you can see it says 20 kits. This is the time the challenge ends, and this is the page I was looking at, right? So all of that information is captured through this, like in accordance with a lot of privacy, like keeping privacy as the center stone apart from everything else. That's why you will see that the model is so heavy, and it takes time to install and it takes time to work with it. Okay, because it is not directly querying a lot of cloud models unless and until you have chosen the cloud ecosystem, version earlier, right? If you have chosen to process everything locally, all of this data remains on your system. We don't store any of this on pieces servers at all. Okay, so yeah, that's the whole deal with it. If you don't trust us, and I would be skeptic about it as well. So I'll click here on the model and I'll download an on-device model. Like here in this case, I can literally work with the same thing with an on-device model like Mistral, and nothing leaves my system. Makes more sense? Absolutely. So you can try that out as well. It runs a local database, which means all of that, even the database is locally hosted. So it's like, it's interacting, it's just saving all this information on the local database, retrieving and all that. I hope installation is done. Yes, yes. Installation is done, everyone. Let's hope it is done. because now I have the demo is also done. So yeah, I hope all the installation has happened. Yes, yes. If yes, let's go back. Perfect. Okay. Now remember, before we start practical, two more things. Context. Context is everything when working with LLMs. Okay. So when you're interacting with an LLM, like of any size, context is the king. Okay. The more you provide context, the more is the LLM is able to kind of listen to you and work with you, in the fashion you want to. Here you can see context is the prompt which you give along with an as an additional information, right? So you are like, for example, you're working with in this case, here you can see I provided it some context that hey, I was looking at this get album code, but where was I looking at? I was looking at it in Chrome. So providing additional context is really, really important. In our case, we were providing that using the long-term memory functionality. So the long-term memory functionality is what was, providing context to the LLM, and then LLM was able to work with it. Okay, so context is very important. Sorry for that, but yeah, remember context is the king when it comes to LLMs. You can have a very powerful LLM. If you're not working with context right, the LLM is going to most likely fail or reply back gibberish. So yeah, that's very important. Now remember, context size is also very limited based on the Copilot you are using. You might have seen something like this. If I click on the model here, you can see 128K token, right? You can see, 8K tokens. You can see 4K tokens. You can see, 256K tokens and all of that. So what are these tokens? These tokens are the amount of data which you can store, or the amount of context which you can store in these models. As a human, do you remember something which happened with you as a 5-year-old or as a 6-year-old? I have a lot of context from my, when I was a child. For example, one time I was building this awesome, power bank. Yeah. And I was, I dismantled the power bank. I literally built it out, and it burned when I started, to put it on charging, and half our kitchen was burned. Yeah. Hopefully there was no one. So, but I remember that. Why? Because, my context window as a human can store approximately data around, like from my childhood. I can remember few of them. Okay, not everyone. So context window is very similar to that, where we are saying that okay, this model can retrieve or have attention of this many data points, and so on and so forth. Nice. um, prompting is as important as context. Remember, without prompt engineering, you will be just kind of going ahead and giving it prompts which are literally not giving you the answer. Have you ever done this? You ask GPT about, hey GPT, let me write a LinkedIn post, and it's like, oh, I was at this conference, I was meeting, I was meeting so many people, and it just goes on to literally create a very AI generated post. You can literally read it and be like, this is AI generated, right? And then you're like, talk to me like a human, okay? Don't write it like a robot, write it like a human. And then it again reiterates, right? And then you are like, again, write it as you are, Ali Mustafa. Like, for example, in my case, I'll give it my name. I'll tell, okay, Ali uses these words, or Ali does this, and so on and so forth, and then it will redo the whole thing again. So prompt engineering is literally that, but then more efficiently. And the best way to kind of learn prompt engineering is to look at the existing prompt. So I call this something called as prompt gallery. If you have not used it, if you're not seen it before, you can look here. We have prompt gallery, which basically means that you can look at all different kinds of prompts for different use cases. Okay, so you can literally go here, and you can actually see there are a lot more galleries available from Microsoft, from Google, and from so many different companies, where you can look at a problem. You can look at the prompts which you can use to solve these problems, or solve them in a better way. Okay. So yeah, remember, prompt engineering is very important. I usually prefer to kind of use, the 4S method. Single prompt at a time. So I'm going to give one prompt at a time. I am going to solve a very specific problem, not tell it to do 10 things. So instead of telling it, okay, create a backend and create a front end with it, create a CSS also, create a very beautiful website, instead of telling all of that once, I'm going to solve specific problem at one point in time. So in one prompt, I'll tell it to create a backend. Then I'll iterate and make the backend perfect. And then I'll go to front end. And then I'll start iterating and make the front end perfect. I want to implement database, then I'll go ahead and tell it to implement database and so on and so forth. So remember, single problem at a time, specific problem, be specific about what you're asking. Are you asking the code in Python or JS? Mention it. Are you asking it to use a database called as MySQL or Postgres? Be specific about it. Okay. Then comes short. Keep it short. LLMs, as much as you want them to be your therapist, they are actually not. So being short is actually useful. For example, I was going ahead and I was trying to create t-shirt designs. Fun, right? I can create t-shirt designs using GPT and I can sell it. Makes sense. I went and I wrote, can you give me t-shirt design for solar system? It gave me literally a t-shirt. Then I was so confused. I was like, okay, how do I get a t-shirt design without getting a t-shirt in the design? So I kept iterating over it. And after 3 crazy hours, I was not able to find any solution. So I went back, did some prompt engineering. I figured out if you wanted a t-shirt design, you don't need to mention t-shirt in it. Yeah, exactly. So I ended up adding the prompt, give me a design of solar system, which is A4 size, has a clear background. It's artistic and drawn by a human. Yes, that works. So being short and being, like giving exact words uh, really helps. If you don't, then that is going to be a big problem. Okay. You'll be like, okay, I don't know. No, Bhargavi, you can't download pieces in an Android app. You'll have to download it in your system or your PC. Yeah. So if you don't know what to ask Copilot, you can literally go ahead and ask a Copilot what to ask it. So if you have a rough idea, you can use multi Copilot. Like for example, in this scenario, I have access to GPT and I have access to Claude. GPT is really good at understanding general tests. General tasks, it does really well. But Claude is good at coding. So I can ask GPT to give me a prompt for Claude. Then I can use Claude to, with that prompt to generate the code. So that's how you can use multi LLMs to literally generate prompts for you. Yeah, that's a big brain thing which you can actually do. um, with AI comes hallucinations. AI is not always right. AI is most of the times wrong, majority of the times. And it will come up with gibberish. It will come up with wrong information. And you will, literally go ahead with it. So there's a very live example. There's a person who shared his, a very big reveal or a scam which happened with him. This guy was having some, Web3 tokens. He went to GPT, asked it to give it a code, which he can use as an API, to do some transaction, etc. GPT gave him a code. He did not go through the code, copy pasted it, ran on the mainnet, and his wallet got empty. When he saw the code later, the code was making an API call to a false website, not the official website. Yes. So this is very common, and it happens all the time. So AIs, you don't usually, they are not intelligent, as I mentioned. They just generate text. And, someone in their training data somewhere, they saw this website, a spam website, and they incorporated it as an API call for someone who asked for it. As crazy as it sounds, it happens. And it can happen with you as well. So yeah, LLMs can hallucinate. They will make up things which doesn't have any information. If the training data is wrong, generated output could be wrong. It will be wrong, which is very common. Different LLMs are wrong in different way. For example, GPT might be very smart at answering general knowledge questions. Claude cannot be, which is literally two different LLMs and two different architectures and two different training data sets. So remember, different LLMs are wrong in different ways. And the system prompt is something which you need to be very, very careful about, because if you are giving the system prompt wrongly, then the LLM will keep rotating in itself and will not be able to solve any problem. Cool. Final point before we go to the hands-on, it's important to not trust LLMs blindly. Remember that very well. Now that we are done with all the theory, we need to go to hands-on. So everyone, come on the document, please. Let's go on the document. Will AI take job? Yes, Viren, it will take jobs. If you don't upgrade, it will take a lot of jobs. But if you upgrade, you know how to use AI, then why will it take jobs? You will be the one who will be taking other person jobs who don't know about Gen AI that much. So yes, yeah, you can remember that. Okay, cool. Step number 3, follow the steps for hands-on. Okay, you're watching this video, so no need to open the same video again. Okay, step number 2, open this GitHub page. Okay, now this GitHub repository, if you see, this is a GenAI 101 GitHub repo. Okay, I'm sharing that in the chat right here. This is GenAI 101 pieces workshop, and we are going to generate a personal fact generator. Now, if you like this repo, please give it a star. I've put in a lot of hard work to come up with this. So if you really like this, please, I would appreciate if you can give a GitHub star here. Okay. So yeah, this is the project repo. Let's go ahead and start, our building our own project. By the way, we are on 62 stars. We have 200 plus people right here. So at least this number should go 100. Most probably, if you all are kind enough to give it a star, then definitely. But yeah, let's go ahead and do the task. The task is very simple. What we have to do is we have to go ahead and follow the instructions in the documentation. So let's open the documentation. Let me make it full screen so that it's visible more. Let me put the documentation right here. There it goes as the documentation. Nice. Now in the documentation, you can see we have to generate a personal fun fact generator app. Now let's go ahead and read all about this. So go ahead and read about it. Step-by-step project guide. Obviously, you have to read this. I'll give you a moment to read this. By the way, I'm not going to do the hard work. I am going to ask my, pieces to do the hard work for me. So I'm going to turn on. I was looking at the GitHub repo for a task. Can you summarize it for me? Yeah. So by the way, I'm doing with pieces, but you have to do it. You have to understand the task, what it is, and tell me what do you understand from it. So here you can see pieces says that we have to create a random fact generator, displays a random fact when you click a button. You can customize it, obviously, and you want to host it on GitHub Pages, which is exactly what we want to do. Hey Alice, can you please fill out the form, the installation error form, so that we can reach out to you later on? Yes, Tanishq, we have to make an app. Yeah, so whenever I see someone writing in all caps, I feel they are shouting on top of their lungs. um, yeah, um, which is crazy, but okay. Okay. Uh, let's go ahead and start working on the project. Yes, give me a thumbs up if you understood the project. Yes, yes. If you understood what we are building, give me a thumbs up in the chat, quick. I can see a lot of hearts. That's nice. Self-love. Can you please? Okay, self-love. Yeah, I love myself, but I'm talking about the self-love in the chat. Uh, please share about that permission error. It should not ask for PowerShell permission. Are you sure you're installing pieces? Yeah, just share the screenshot in the form, installation error form. Okay. So I really love these names. There's you, me, and tech. Then there's self-love. Who's more with funny names? There's Savior. Okay. And then Alice, probably Alice 2.0. Uh, were you an LLM bro before? Like you were 1.0 and then now you're 2.0? Probably. Okay. Let's start a new chat in pieces. So boot pieces and start a new chat. We are going to go ahead and ask it to do something for us. So the first thing we want is to generate. We need to generate like a project goal, and we need to generate initial facts. Now I'm going to generate facts about planet Earth. Oh, I'm not going to say your name, buddy. I know what you did there with the emoji. Okay. Let's go ahead and ask it to generate facts. So generate 10 facts about planet Earth. You can use any other. You can use dinosaurs. I really love crocodiles, by the way, because I feel they are from the dinosaur kind of segment. So that is nice as well. By the way, if you're connecting me on LinkedIn, by the way, if you love my sessions, you can connect me here. But if you're connecting me on different platforms like LinkedIn, do mention where you're coming from because I get tons of requests and I'm not able to, sort them out. So if you really want to connect, do mention where you're coming from. Nice. So it gives me all of these 10 facts. But do I want it in this format? No. Why? Because I want to kind of, share it or implement it in a project. So I want it in a JSON format. So let's say, please convert these into JSON format. Okay. So now it is generating this into JSON format. So it says fact and then description for that fact, which is nice. Perfect. Okay. So step number 1 is done. I chose planet Earth. I generated facts about planet Earth. Which one are you choosing? Mention it in the chat, please, so that I can look at it. Akshita, absolutely. If you don't learn coding, how will you know if whatever AI is doing is right or wrong? You need to absolutely learn coding. Dogs, Harry Potter, space, crocodile. Yes, Kriti Goyal is more like me. He is choosing crocodile. Anime. Okay, I used to watch a lot of anime. I guess um, Death Note is the one I remember. Apart from that, nothing else. Medical terms. Okay, uh, that is an interesting one. Love. Why Yuvraj? I hope I pronounce it right. Did you lose love or like why love? um, okay, croissant. If I'm right about it, poetry. Bro, why? Like you're generating fun facts about certificate. Are you for real? um, yeah, definitely. Your name is board classes, so you're not real. What about others? NASA, nice, Naveen. Naveen, NASA is good. Sunrise and sunset. Okay, good. On Germany. Okay, I hope nice facts show up. Okay, cool. So facts, step number 1 is done. Step number 2, we have to generate the initial fun fact project. So we have to, so it is giving a prompt, generate a fun fact about, okay, this is, for personal, but we have chose, like R, like Earth or something like that. So that's fine. Let's go ahead and build the app. So we need to build index.html. style.css and script.js file, right? So let's go ahead and ask it to build a simple page app. Build a single page app with HTML, CSS, and JS file for displaying these facts. Nice. So I am asking LLMs to kind of build a single page website which will display these facts. So it is giving me index.html, as you can see right here, which is nice. Then it gives me style.css, which is also nice. And then it gives me script.js, which is also nice. Okay. Let's go ahead and build this one. Once you're done, give me a thumbs up in the chat for the second one. By the way, I'm watching, I'm reading the chat, so don't worry about it. Yes, yes, yes. Done. You got all of these three generated. Perfect. Okay. So now that you are done here, let's. But these are three files, right? Do I need three files? It will be difficult to deploy three individual files, or not difficult. It will be time consuming. But why do I need three files? Can I combine them in one? Yes. Let's give it a prompt. Combine the CSS and JS into the index.html file. So I've given it the prompt that combine the CSS and JS into the index file itself, right? So that I don't have to have three different files. Doesn't make sense at all. Okay. So now you can see all three are now combined into index.html. If you want a prompt, this is the prompt. Combine the CSS into JS, CSS and JS into index.html file. Earlier prompt also, it was very easy. Build a single page app with HTML, CSS, and JL file for displaying these tags. Okay. Now, the fun thing about pieces is that you can share this code with someone. So you can click on share and it will generate a URL for you. Okay. And you can share this code with anyone. And I'm going to share that with you as well, by the way. But yeah, you can share this code with anyone, very easily. It takes a moment and then you can see the code is available. Now, if I go to Chrome and I basically paste this, I can see the code available. Oh, this is faulty link. Okay, let me copy it again. It should not say faulty link. Okay, I guess there's some problem here. So it's not able to see, give me that. But usually, if you kind of generate and copy it, you are able to share it, by the way. Done? Okay. Last step. This is the last step, okay? Go to GitHub, go to the third link. Here we need to submit, before we submit our project, we need to deploy our project, okay? So we need to go to github.com and create a new repo. Okay, so go ahead and create a new repository for me, okay? I am sharing the link in the chat right here so that you can actually see it as well. So you need to create a new repository. You can create it on GitHub. How many of you have worked with GitHub before? I guess a lot of you, right? Give me a heart emoji. from like the heart reaction emoji from here. Nice, nice. Okay. So here, select your repo. No GitHub. Okay. So in that case, you can create a GitHub account. Very easy to create a GitHub account, by the way. You can just sign up with Google. New to GitHub. Oh, that's it doesn't take a lot of time, by the way. So on GitHub, create a new account and you can kind of create a new repo. Call it Earth Facts. Nice. So name the repo. Mention that this repo hosts sample code for GenAI 101 with pieces workshop about Earth, about facts for planet Earth. Make it public. Make sure it is public. Add a README by default, so that's fine. And then hit create repo. Simple. So we created a new repo. We went ahead and we basically added this, all this information. Hit create repository button. Yeah, that's fine. We are going to not use git commands. We're just going to upload our code. Okay. So I uploaded, I added this, and you can see Earth Facts. This repo hosts sample code for pieces 101. Make sense? Make sense? Yes, give the description. You have to give the description, Ishan. You can say this is like part of GenAI 101. Yeah, to receive the certificate, you have to. This is the last part. So we are almost done. So you have to be, you have to, do this. By the way, did I mention that we are giving out 1,000 rupees Amazon vouchers? Not yet. Okay, I'm gonna hold it till the end. Okay. But before that, remember to complete the hands-on for the certificate at least. How many are participating in the social media challenge? Participating? No. Created a repo. Nice. Okay. So now observe me very carefully. Okay. In the repo, click on this add file button and click on create a new file. Okay. Add file, create a new file and name it. What you will name it? Index.html. Index.html. Where you will, what code we need to paste here? We need to paste this code which we generated. So copy this code. You can see the copy button right here and paste it in GitHub. Simple. So what I did, I created on add a file, named the file index.html, and pasted the code from pieces to here. Then I can click on commit changes and done. Okay. So Control S and enter, and index file is added. Done. See, it is that easy. You just added the index file. Now, for people who did not see it again, I am going to show it again. You can come back here, click on this add file button, click on create a new file, name it index.html, paste the code, commit changes and commit changes. Done. Nothing else. Okay. Final step, deploy this. How to deploy this? Click on settings. Then you click on pages. Okay. So again, click on settings, click on pages. And here we are going to deploy this so that you can share the link with your family, with your friends on LinkedIn, so that you have a project build, right? Just having the project in GitHub doesn't make it, a lot more sense if you're able to share the end result. Yes, yes. Yeah, you can do it later on and you can submit it later on. No, Viren, we will actually, directly add and, build it. So GitHub pages again, everyone attention, settings, pages. So settings on the top, pages, and then from here in the branch option, select main branch, root folder, save, And that's it. You're done. It will take somewhere around uh, 2 to 3 minutes, and your page will be ready. How do you know the page is getting ready? You can click on the code and you can see a brown dot here, which means pending, which means it is getting built. Okay. So it will take a minute or two. If you can click on it as well, and it will show you how it is building all of this. You can see how it is building, 10 seconds for this, 10 seconds for that. And you can see now it is deploying. So yeah, it's a process which happens behind the scene. How did I see this? I clicked on the code and here you can see success means the code is deployed. Where will I find the URL? Same place, settings, pages. And here you can see, I can see the URL, click on visit site. It will open a new site. Oh, but I need, okay, this is okay, but I need it to have a button, right? This looks not good. So I need to have a button here. So I can go back in pieces and I can say, add a button to replace the facts. Okay. So here you can see add a button where we can, where it can do. So I can change the code, I can redeploy it and it works. But for now, this is doable. So I mentioned about 1,000 rupees voucher that will be given to one person who really puts effort to create a very nice UI for like a random fact generator. Okay. You will select the winners from the certificates itself. So you can submit it later on as well. So you have to submit this URL, okay, and claim your certificate. Why do you need to add my name in the owner section, Naveen? I'm not sure which owner section you are looking at. Okay, so now let's go ahead and download our certificate. If you're done till here, you're all good, and you need to download your certificate, right? You need to apply for your certificate. So click on download certificate, enter your email, enter your name. If you like this session, rate it. I really like myself, so I'm going to give myself 5 stars. If you did like the content as well, give it a rating. What are the key takeaways? Mention the key takeaway. You need to mention one key takeaway to be eligible for a certificate. If you have any product feedback which is productive or which you feel is nice, you can mention it here. Share the project repo. So project repo, this is the project repo. Where is the project? Here. Copy the link, share it in the form, share the code link from pieces. So code link from pieces, as I mentioned, you can click on share code. It will generate the link right here. And then that link you have to share there. Okay. So copy link and share it here. So that is the pieces generated link. Any additional feedback and hit submit. You will receive your certificate within 2 days after verifying your project. So do not copy this or paste someone else's GitHub because we manually verified it. Okay. So yeah, I will highly recommend that you do the hands on yourself and then submit for certificate claim. Same for social media. Once you participate in the social media swag, fill out this form. And inside this form, you have to fill out name, email, and if you like mentioned about pieces, share the link. You can share it on Twitter. You can share it on LinkedIn or any other platform. We need a link to verify that. Okay. So make sure you are sharing the link right here. Okay. So yeah, that's about the workshop and the swag challenge and the certificate. Remember, we need to submit it as soon as possible. There is no deadline per se, but yeah, I would ask you to submit as soon as possible so that your certificates can get processed really quickly. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, you can connect with me on these platforms, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, or on Instagram. And yeah, do follow pieces as well. Okay. So yeah, that's about the workshop. Let's summarize everything which we learned. Shall we? Yes, you can submit it tomorrow. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. No problem. Tane, as I mentioned, you have to complete the hands-on buddy. So if you miss the hands-on, go back in time, like after the stream ends, and do the hands-on. Once you complete the hands-on, you can fill out this form to receive the certificate. Very simple, no? Make sure the project URL is added. Make sure the code link is added. Okay. Cool. So let's summarize everything we learned today. We started by learning about GenAI, behind the scenes about GenAI, LLMs, Copilot, simple prompting techniques, context window, multiple types of LLMs like Claude, GPT-4o, pieces. What is pieces? It is a multi LLM, like Copilot, which you can use to kind of interact with your code, with whatever you do on your system, right? And it has long-term memory, which basically means it remembers things for you, right? Then we did a simple project where we created facts about something which we love, and we went ahead and we deployed that on GitHub Pages. And then at the end, we saw this. And if you want to improve that, you can improve it by giving it more inputs. Make sense? So I have a question in the chat. So I hope this is all clear. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to answer some questions in the chat. So before we end the stream, because we have 8 more minutes, so I'm going to take some questions. Jumel, as I mentioned, once you fill out the form, you will get the certificate within a day. You will get the digital badge and you will get certificate both. Okay. Sir, can I ask you one question? Which LLM should you use for coding stuff and for general stuff? For coding, I really like, Claude Sonnet. It's a really nice. In pieces, it's absolutely free. So you can use that for coding. For general purposes, GPT-4o, I've really liked it. Gemini 2.0 Flash is very promising, but it's still in like I guess it's out of beta, so you can use it. But yeah, I would really love to see Gemini 2.0 Flash. Avia, participate in the social media challenge, buddy. I've pinned the link in the comments, so go ahead and check that out. By the way, like the stream, folks, and subscribe to LetsUpgrade channel. They are amazing. Okay, anything else? How to win so many hackathons? Okay, hackathons are amazing. Imagine if you have a tool like Pieces with you during hackathons. By the way, I got a DM from someone on LinkedIn, and they mentioned that they use Pieces to win a hackathon. How crazy that is. Yeah. Thank you so much for attending, Rohan. I really appreciate it. By the way, I have some awesome Pieces swags as well. I really have this one, which I call it the mini Copilot. If you have seen it right here, this is called as the cool mini Copilot, and it will point back to your LinkedIn. So you can actually just carry this keychain with you, and it will point out to your LinkedIn profile. How cool that is, right? So if you want this, as I mentioned, you can participate in the social media challenge and have a chance to win this. Yes. um, cool. Hey, yeah, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. As I mentioned earlier, LinkedIn is actually my LinkedIn profile is actually added in the document. I hope you're able to see that, or I'll share it here. Nice. For swag challenge, once more, I'm going to share the link in the chat once. Step number 4 is swag challenge. So scroll all the way down. Oh, LetsUpgrade has already shared it, so that's good. So yeah, scroll all the way down and you will find, the social media challenge. Cool. Thank you so much, everyone. Before we go, let's flood the chat with purple heart for no particular reason. And then we'll end the workshop. Sounds good? Yes, yes, yes. His smile. I hope that is your right name. You can just rewind back a little bit, and you can actually see the whole thing. Okay. Yeah, because it's a recording, so you can come back and you can look at it. Thank you, folks, for coming in. Let's see some purple hearts in the chat, and we'll end the workshop. Yes, you can make any kind of project, not just so. Fun fact generator was my kind of project, which I wanted you folks to make, but you can make anything, and you will be eligible for ₹1,000 Amazon Pay voucher, which is amazing, right? Yeah. Nice. Okay. So yeah, thank you so much, folks. See you again. Bye bye. Take care, and have a really awesome weekend. It's Saturday. Go do some party. No, don't. Submit your project. Stay at home. Okay. Bye, folks. See you around.